Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Yes, y'all, your girl has changed my hair. I have changed my hair. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And, it's one of the downsides of being my own beautician, okay? For those of y'all that don't know, you know what I'm saying? For those of you that are new, okay? Those of you that just be like, I just clicked on your video and your video just popped up, or YouTube showed me the video and it happened to be for me. Hey, boo, how you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. But anywho, I am my own beauty person, okay? Before God called me, I was a beauty influencer, okay? And it's not to say that I'm no longer, a beauty, person, because I am. I have so many beauty things going on. Like I literally took out the time, effort, and energy to not only buy all of my beauty tools. I have bought some of these tools 5 times. Okay, regardless if it breaks, I lose it. Somebody breaks it, somebody steals it, whatever. I rebuy it. I repurchase. I will repurchase. I have my own little like spa sessions. Okay, and you know what I'm saying. And I'm like serious. Like you know what I'm saying. And as somebody that does my own nails, going to the nail shop, you don't get your nails done in about 2 hours, maybe 4, depending on what you're doing. For some of the styles that sometimes the way that I used to want my nails done, the designs and stuff, I like, closer to 2-3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I've spoken about this several times. The prices started to get ridiculous. I just couldn't stand the attitudes. A lot of people have spoken about this. I peeped this years ago. Years ago, I peeped that the nail techs and even beauticians, like, I just started noticing that it wasn't what it used to be. What was supposed to be a moment to get your, decompress, a moment that, you would spend that moment to calm down and, just kind of re-energize and just refresh. It turned into something else. And, like, while it's nice to have somebody else performing a service for you, it's like literally cheaper to do it at home. And as for me, around 12, I'd say 12 to 15, around my preteen years. Whereas now these girls, I don't know what's going on with them. They go from a child to a teenager real quick. I had a preteen stage, and during my preteen stage, that's when I learned how to polish nails, and I started experimenting with hairstyles. And especially once I was in high school, I had experimented to such an extent that, see, I don't have the picture here. This is like, I took 2 different graduation pics. My mom did these with the school, and then my dad took some separate back when glamour shots was a thing. I don't have a copy of the picture that I took, but I had cut my hair. The reason you don't see it in this picture is because it was a secret. And I don't know, my mama might have already peeped it and she just didn't say nothing. She might have been laughing to herself like she thinks she keeping this for me, but I know. But anyways, I cut Chinese bangs for myself, and they were so cute. They were cute. They was hitting y'all. And you know what I'm saying? Like, in this picture, I had weave. That was probably a wig. Let me see. I can't tell. That could have been my hair, though. That might have been my hair. That might have been my hair, and it might have been a wig. Because, like, my senior year, I would wear wigs. And then on top of that, I had hair. Like, I would wear wigs to such an extent that people started to think I ain't have hair. Which was funny to me, because I was like, you've been in school with me for 3 years. You really think that I cut all my hair off to wear wigs? And I would just bust out with a fro. I would bust out with, get my hair wrapped, or do my hair, wash my hair, do a little perm, and wrap my hair up, and come there with my hair, and just, how you doing? bald? Did you really think that I cut all my hair off just to wear weave? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? What did you think happened? Like what? Like I thought the logic. You know what I'm saying? And you know, even like I know some people will think that, oh, maybe they got in a fight and somebody pulled all their hair, and somebody maybe they finally got a hold to it, cut her hair or something like that. Like, first of all, I already said I think that's cheating. Okay, I've only been in a fight with one person that wanted to pull my hair. Surprisingly, a man wanted to pull my hair, and kept pulling me. I was like, why you keep cheating? Like, he did not like the fact that I was fighting him. I was fighting him like a man. I was not fighting him like a girl. I wasn't doing no windmill swings. I wasn't scratching. You about to feel these fists was good, okay? And yes, with these long nails, I can still ball my hands up into a fist. And baby, don't play with me. But anywho. Going along with that, okay? I just felt that it was always so much more convenient to do it by myself. And sometimes you will feel that, like, I just feel, and I had a message, but I feel like this is going along with the message, because it ain't no way God would lead me to talk about this for 6 going on 7 minutes, and it don't have nothing to do with the message. But I just feel like, for whoever this is for, okay, as we get into it, sometimes you got to do it yourself. If it's not that you're doing it yourself because you need discretion, sometimes it could be a discretion situation. You may have somebody that wouldn't want you to do that. You may have somebody that they wouldn't like it. You know, in my case with my hair, it wasn't because my mom didn't want my hair to be cute, but it was because she spent so long putting forth so much effort, allowing my hair to grow out to the healthy state that it was, for me to just, okay? And I get it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. It hit different once you an adult. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. But you know, as a teenager, you know, we think when you a teenager, you think different. I'm talking about we. I am not a teen anymore. I am an adult. Okay, full blown. Ain't no running around it. Anyways, I just feel like, you know, as a teenagers don't really think about it. Like they're the way their mind is processing is just on a whole different dimension. But for whoever this is for, when whatever it is that you're doing, okay, sometimes when you're building something, regardless if you're building a business or if you are preparing yourself for the next stage in life, it could be a situation where God is leading you to do something. God may be leading you on a fast that you have is unheard of, because there is a such thing as an Esther fast, and there is a such thing as a you know, like preparing yourself. You never know. God may have you on a David fast, and I've never heard anybody speak of that, but I'm being led to say that right now. It could be a situation where God is leading you down Nazareth pledge. There are different things that God will lead you to do. And if you are going down that road, the Nazareth, that pledge, you going to have to go through a moment. Okay, I went through that. And it's like, this is not one that God is going to lead you to scream about. I don't think that I talked about it at all, if very much. I could not wear any makeup. I could not do my nails. I could not, no lashes. I had to have my hair wrapped the whole time. And I could only eat certain foods. I could only cook my own food. So, you know, there are different things there are different fasts. There are different ways that God will prepare you for a stage. And regardless if you're going your next season in life, you're going to be going into a season where you are leading, or if you're going to be led to go into a season where you are getting ready to get married, or maybe you're getting ready to be a mom, or you're getting ready, whatever it is that you're getting ready for, God will put you on a track to where you preparing for it. Because here's the difference between somebody that is preparing themselves for marriage and somebody that's preparing themselves to be a Jezebel, okay? When it comes to a Esther fast, it is also internal. It's not just about the beauty. So Esther fast, you may go through a certain amount of time when you ain't doing no beauty treatments. You not even you may go through a while where you just feel like you just lingering, and it's like you're healing internally. And there may be a moment where God is healing you internally. Your outside may be going disarray. It may be to an extent where you are just, it's all about comfort. It's all about healing. It's all about preparation from a internal state. Because you can't, just because you look good on the outside don't mean that you're ready for a relationship. Just because your body is right and you got your head together and you got everything together, that does not mean that you are ready to get married, because you may very well end up in a situation where you are just acting a complete fool. Or it could be a situation where you have the mindset like you ready as far as physical, but mentally you ready to go out and break some hearts. Emotionally, you're not there. So it's not going to be the same. It's going to be different. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a different vibe. It's not going to be a situation where God is just going to throw you into it, and now all of a sudden, oh, you're fat, oh, you're on your Esther fast, and now all of a sudden you do all the beauty treatments and bam, you're done. No, you're going to have to go through an emotional state too. And it may be a season where God is not going to lead you to tell nobody. It's nobody's business. That's between you and God. So for whatever this is going to be something where God is going to lead you to prepare yourself. It can, like, whatever it is, you may, regardless to what that is, what that looks like for you, because it could look different. It could be a season where God is leading you to buy certain things, getting yourself together, regardless if these things help to build your confidence or if these things are actual tools that you will need for your next season. Because I have been in position for both, where God has literally led me to buy something, and I didn't need it. I just bought it because I wanted it, and it made me feel better to have it. And it wasn't something that I idolized. It could be a situation where you idolized it and you really, really wanted it, but God told you to stop doing that, and you turned away from it, and you let go of the idea that you would get it, and then God will give it to you. And when he give it to you, it hit different. So it could be that kind of situation, or it could be a situation where you know what I'm saying, that seasons change, things change. It could be a situation where God has been telling you that you're at a fork in the road. You could go either way. That does happen. Life is built on choices. So if it's a situation where you could go this way, but you could also go this way, and if someone makes a certain decision, you're going that way. If someone does it, if another person makes a decision, you going, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like if it's a situation with a job, you know you gonna do the job that you gonna do. Regardless, you went to school to be a nurse, you gonna be a nurse regardless. You went to school to be a beautician, you gonna be a beautician regardless. Now, you don't know if you gonna work at Susan's shop or if you gonna work for Charlotte. Okay? You could go either way. They are both very nice women. They're both very professional. From what you see, the shop looks clean. It look like they ain't messy. It look like everything is everything. Okay, you will pay the same amount for your booth. And you know what I'm saying? They both are pretty in pink or pretty in purple, whatever it is that you like. You know what I'm saying? It's your kind of vibe. They like, if you work at this shop, you may be closer to a certain restaurant you like. And if you work at that one, you may be closer to a friend's house or your house or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like but the decision is based on a decision that somebody makes. Because it may be a situation where this person, they may choose, they may have a situation where their cousin need a booth. Oh, their cousin need a booth. They gonna choose their cousin over you. Ain't nothing personal against you, but they gonna give their cousin that booth because they feel like, that's their cousin. And it could be a situation where, you know what I'm saying, then you don't get the booth because the cousin got the booth. And now you going over here. But you still gonna work as a beautician and you still gonna get a seat at a shop. It's still a shop that is some kind of convenience for you. It's still a situation where you're gonna get along with people. It's still a situation where you're gonna be happy. You still will pay the same amount. You still will have the same outcome and the same result, but you're going a different route. And that's for somebody. And this is a situation where you have to make this decision alone. This is something that you have to do alone. This is something that you're going to have to be doing on your own. This is something, I just feel like even if it's just you knowing this is something that just you know. And sometimes it's for the peace of mind. Just like going back to where I started with all this, me doing my beauty treatments, me doing my own hair, it's for my peace of mind because I know I did it. First of all, it's cheaper. Okay, and I don't have a lot of money like that to where I'm just able to go and pay for the hairstyles I be wanting, because I know the hairstyles I be wanting, baby, you about to come off a few hundreds, a few of them, and no. Okay, second of all, the way that I care for my own hair. Okay, and it ain't nothing personal to nobody. I just have not found anybody that cares for my hair the way that I care for my hair. And except my mom, but my mom, I don't know if she does locks. I never asked. And ever since I started my locks, I just kind of either me and, like I said, my ex-husband used to retwist my locks, and that's it. That's it. I never let anybody else into my hair when it comes to my locks. Like, I've always been kind of particular about that. I don't even like nobody touching my locks. Like, I can't stunt. Like, I'm not the kind of person where I'm going to punch you if you touch my hair without warning, but I am going to cut my eyes at you because I don't like it. Don't touch my hair. I don't know where your hands been. I don't know what kind of energy you trying to put up on me. I don't know what you thinking in your mind as you touching my locks. I don't know if you thinking with a negative and you got nasty thoughts or whatever it is. Don't touch my hair. Okay? Anyways. I'm just being real. I had a bad experience when I was in beauty school where this girl was helping me cut out some braids, and she thought that she cut my hair. And while some of my hair did end up coming out, all of my hair did not. And she was shocked to see that that she didn't do what she thought. And the fact that she thought that made me even more so like, no, I'm not letting nobody touch my hair no more. I don't want nobody in my head. I'm going to be real. I don't want nobody in my head. In fact, once it was time for somebody they were like, well, for you to be the model, you got to sew in. And they did something. They had to do whatever to the sew in hair. They not touching my hair. I was like, no, ain't nobody touching my hair. And I just feel like for whoever this is for, it's a situation where whatever this is something that you have to be sure. And I just feel like it's something that is it's kind of dire importance that you're sure. Like, like when I talk about my hair, you know what I'm saying? If you have somebody that don't really care about your hair, I've had full-blown conversations about hair with friends, family members. And, if you allow somebody that they feel some kind of way about you in your head, baby, I've heard some horror stories, just like the story I just told where sis thought she was cutting my hair. Like, there will be people that they talk about they doing the trim, and your hair then went from down here to up here. Ain't nobody got time. I'm not trying to hear that. It's not, I'm not trying to hear, well, it's better for your hair and da. If that's the case, it's going to do what it's going to do on its own. I don't want you cutting it. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. I ain't got time. And I just feel like this is for somebody that you gotta be sure. And whatever the situation is, if it's like maybe you starting a business and it's like this is you are in a place where you need to cross your T's and dot your I's. You gotta make sure every single thing is on point. And with you needing to make sure every single thing is on point, you're gonna have to do it yourself. You don't want to confuse what you don't want what you're doing to be confused with you doing something else. Which reminds me of, I'm being reminded of how when I was talking about it's a difference between fasting to become Esther and you on an Esther fast, and you fasting and you become a Jezebel, and it's like a Jezebel fast. You don't want to confuse the two, because with the Esther fast, it's internal. It's not just external. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the beauty treatments went on for a year, but it wasn't just external. You know what I'm saying? When King Xerxes got Esther, she wasn't just a beauty queen. She had brains too. She had a mission that she had to accomplish. And if she had the heart of Jezebel, she wouldn't be worried about all that. That mission would not have been accomplished. She would have been worried about other things. When you and I just feel like this is a situation for whoever this is for. God is saying he don't just want it to be looking good from the outside. He wants it to look good from the inside too. Internal and external. So when God gets ready to give you this business, God doesn't want you to just, you know what I'm saying? You're just focused on how it looks externally, and you're not focused on what's going on internally. When God gives you this marriage, you're just focused on how y'all look from the outside. When people see y'all and what people are thinking about y'all, the way that y'all are dressed and the way that y'all present yourselves together. Yeah, that needs to look nice too. But what about y'all on the internal? Because what's the point if when y'all go home at night, y'all fighting? What's the point? And y'all go home at night and y'all sleeping in separate rooms. What's the point? And y'all go home at night and y'all don't even get along. Why? What are you fighting for? Who are these people that you're trying to impress? And what makes you think that you are impressing them when in reality you ain't even happy? They don't care. And that's just real. And I just feel like God is saying that he wants you to understand that it's more than just external. It's an internal thing as well. And you got to be hands-on with this. This is not a situation where you're going to be able to just allow somebody else to handle it. You can't just allow somebody else to handle your marriage. You can't just allow somebody else to handle your friendship. You can't just allow somebody else to handle whatever it is. And you know what I'm saying? I've been watching how I'm being reminded of how in the reality shows, it's a lot of people that's always talking about therapy. And it's nothing wrong with therapy. I'm going to be real. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I feel like therapy is good for some people. But you know what I'm saying? That y'all know in my childhood, I'm going to be real. When I was a kid, therapy was only for people that had some kind of mental things going on. And for it to get to a point now where it is normalized is like cray to me. I'm just being real. And I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like God is saying it's a lot of people that's not working. Like they just doing stuff. And they not working on the internal before they do stuff. And they just moving. And they got all these bags with them, and they just carrying this person that gave them a new bag. They throw the bag on the wagon and they keep going, and nobody is actually working with dealing with anything that they've been through. Nobody has time to sit down and think to themselves. You know, we live in a world today where people that actually spend time by themselves thinking are weird, and it's not weird. How are you going to heal if you don't focus, if you don't ever actually think about what you went through, accept the fact that you went through it, and grow from it? Try to learn from it. And I just feel like this is something that, yes, you can have somebody to help you. But just like another show I was watching when I was watching The Simpsons, and they was talking about therapy, and the therapist was talking to Homer. And Homer was like, my problem can be solved in one visit. And she said, well, depending on your insurance. But due to your insurance, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's gonna have to be one session. I want to get you out of here. Okay, so like, you know what I'm saying, and I'm saying this to say, like, you gotta be careful. You gotta tread lightly with situations like that. And I just feel like where somebody is literally like, that's how they get. You know what I'm saying? And what's in their best interest? Okay, and I just feel like God is saying that you would have less to stress over. You would have less to worry about when you get into this next situation if you go ahead and allow yourself to heal internally before you get there. And that's the message. That is a long message. I know it is so long, but I just feel like God is saying that you have to work on the internal before you get to the external. And this is something that you are going to have to focus on by yourself. You're not going to be able to have 1,000 people with you and you pulling all these people along, and you know what I'm saying? There are some things where it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It may be hard. It may be difficult. It's harder to do it by yourself, but it's worth it. And as somebody that, when I started my business, I did everything by myself. Everything. And some people would be like, you know what I'm saying, what were you expecting? I'm gonna be real. I had family members that could have helped me because they literally worked in the same, you know what I'm saying, knew somebody else was a photographer, a blood cousin, blood relative, photographer. Met somebody that, like, that was a photographer. Neither one of these people wanted to help me out. They act like it was such a problem, and it would be, you know what I'm saying? And new models, they ain't want to help. You know what I'm saying? And the interesting thing about it is, what was so funny to me, okay, when I was first starting, nobody wanted to help me because I ain't had nothing going on. I'm gonna be real, I ain't had nothing going on. I just had my 1,000 friends on Facebook and the 1,000 people following me. And these are people that I knew. And all of them unfollowed me once I started doing my thing. But let me tell you something. After I did it by myself, I became my own photographer. I became my own model. I became my own makeup artist. I did my own photo shoots. I planned everything by myself. And I created my line by myself. No help. Do you know that I had people tell me, you could have used such and such as a model, and you could have let such and such do this, and you could have let such and such do that? I asked. I begged. Nobody wanted to do it. They act like they was too good to model for me. And they act like they was too good to take pictures for me. And they act like they couldn't do any of these things. But then when I have accomplished, now all of a sudden everybody want to help. I don't want your help no more. I'm going to be real. I'm being real about it. I was watching the show the other day, and the guy was he was talking with this lady. Like, the lady's talking about she want to collaborate with him. Let's collaborate. And he was like, you know what? I remember you. Before I was who I am today, I wanted to work with you. And you talked down on me. You looked down on me. You made me feel as though I would be nothing and I would never be nobody. And I don't want to work with you. Baby. And I'm just being real for whoever this is for. God said it's okay if you got to do it by yourself. It's okay. Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it by yourself, because you never know. You never know. And I don't know what this can pertain to so many different things. But God said, when you do it by yourself, it hit different. And as somebody that has had to accomplish one thing, this could pertain to so many things. It could pertain to getting married. It could pertain to building relationships, building up a business. It could pertain to going to school, getting a degree. It could pertain to, you know what I'm saying, it could pertain to whatever, buying something. Maybe you got to buy a house or a car. You got whatever it is that you got to do. even if it pertains to having kids, even if it pertains to you got to go and adopt kids. God say, when you got to do it alone, when you got to do, it's like you, when you have to go down a list of things by yourself, it hit different. And I'm telling you, because I was able to sit there and if this happened, I'm going to do this. And if that happened, I'm going to do this. And I fell. And you know what I'm saying? I fell flat on my face a few times. I messed up a few times. I took some pictures. I did 4 photo shoots and got to the end and said, why did I take those pictures? Why did I waste my time? That looked a mess. It's so many photo shoots that I spent all day doing my makeup, taking my pictures, spent money getting the outfits together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even understand. I spent so much money doing photo shoots for my company that I still haven't made a profit. That's how much money I spent. I still haven't made. But guess what? The progress is different. The what I have learned is different. The way that I'm just being real. I'm just being real. And I just feel like when it comes down to it, God is saying that when you do it by yourself, it hit different. You learn things that you wouldn't have learned if somebody else was doing it. If somebody else was doing it, I wouldn't have learned what angles are best. If somebody else was doing it, I wouldn't have even learned how to use the backdrop thing that I bought. I wouldn't even have that. I wouldn't even have the railing to hang a backdrop on, nor would I have any backdrops. And if I felt like it, I wouldn't be able to go and take no pictures. I wouldn't have the lights that I'm using right now. I wouldn't know how to use the cameras that I use. I wouldn't know so many things. I would even doing what I'm doing right now, I would be lost. I would be lost. The way that I edit videos when I want to have a day off, and I'll sit there and I edit the video and I do a voiceover, I would have no idea how to do that. I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know the way I change it into cartoon characters. I change myself into a cartoon character because I think it looks cute. It tickles me. I always wanted to see myself as a cartoon, so getting to see myself as a cartoon is cool to me. And anywho, y'all already know. Don't get on me, but whatever. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? And it all stimulates from me having to do things by myself. You know what I'm saying? That's just like somebody that builds their house. They have a whole different vibe than somebody that bought it. Because when you had to build your house, you know what everything is. Ain't no way. If a light go out, you know exactly where to go in the wall. You know exactly where you hit right there and you pull that down. There it is. There's the cord. Let's see what's going on. You know what every tube is, what every pipe is. You know what everything, there's nothing, I just feel like, and that's the thing. When you build it, when you did it yourself, anything that go wrong, you know how to fix it. Because you the one that put it there. And I just feel like God is saying for whoever this is for, you need to know how to put it where it needs to go. You need to know how to do it. That's just why I know the exact number of locks in my head. How do I know that? I put them there. Okay? I put them there. I counted them as I was putting them in my head. I did it on purpose. Okay? I put the number of locks in my head that I have in my head on purpose. And I still have the exact same number to this day, okay? And I just feel like for whoever this is for, God is saying that He wants you to be, He wants you to be able to, this is a situation where you gonna know, okay? He wants you to be sure of yourself when you get into this. When you get into this business, He wants you to be sure of yourself and to understand what you're doing. When you get into the situation, when you start getting into the business of, whatever friendship, He wants you to be sure of it. He wants you to be sure that the friendship is genuine. Okay, it could be a situation where you're getting ready to build friendships. God doesn't want you to be building your friendships based off of this is such and such that you met through such and such. No, he wants you to make your own friends. That way you're not thinking in the back of your head, I wonder if this person really genuinely like me. Or is this somebody that's sent to spy on me? Is this somebody that's sent to they every time I go somewhere with them, they gonna go back to anybody that they know, the mutual people that we know, and tell them what I said and what I did and all these things about they just want to sit around and laugh about me. They really don't want to be my friend. It's a difference. I just feel like God is saying that when you go out, even with the relationship, it could be a situation where you getting ready to meet your person. But when you meet this person, this is something you're going to have to venture on your own. This is not somebody that you're going to meet through anybody else. Nobody's going to know them. And it's purposely intended to be that way. It could be a situation where you meet this person, you're going to be like, where did this person come from? Everybody else might be like, where this person come from? They don't know them. They ain't go to school with you. They ain't go to the church you grew up in. They was never around your family and friends. They may not even be from where you from. But they your person. But God is saying that he wants you, this is something that you are going to have to find out for yourself. You are going to endure this for yourself. But before you do all of this, you're going to have to go, you're going through a process. You're going through a process, and as you're going through this process, you are preparing, you're getting prepared for this next season. And it may not, you know what I'm saying, whatever the season is, you're getting prepared for this next season. God said he wants you ready. He wants you ready. Whatever that may look like for you, you know what I'm saying, whatever the season is. And for somebody, God is leading me to say, you are doing multiple things at once. So you may be watching this video thinking to yourself, I wonder what it is, because God got me doing this, that, the third, and he got me doing so many. God is leading you to do several things. You may be meeting a gang of friends. You're going to meet friends. You're going to meet your spouse. You're going to get your dream job, and you're going to everything all at once. All at once. It's going to be thrown at you. But, you know, you working hard right now. Like you are I just feel like you're in a position to where you're working hard to receive these things. So when you receive these things, it's going to be an overpour. But when you work hard, whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get back. So you putting out a lot of love. You putting out a lot of effort. You putting out a lot of energy into getting yourself together, into building yourself together for whatever it is. God said that's what you're going to receive. Let me get the scripture. The scripture comes from Psalm 115. Not to us, Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, because of your love and faithfulness. Why do the nations say, where is their God? Our God is in heaven. He does whatever he pleases, but their idols are silver and gold, made by human hands. They have mouths, but cannot speak, eyes, but cannot see. They have ears, but cannot hear, noses, but cannot smell. They have hands, but cannot feel, feet, but cannot walk, nor can they utter a sound with their throats. Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them. All you Israelites, trust in the Lord. He is their help and shield. House of Aaron, trust in the Lord. He is their help and shield. You who fear him, trust in the Lord. He is their help and shield. The Lord remembers us and will bless us. He will bless his people Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless those that fear the Lord, small and great alike. May the Lord cause you to flourish, both you and your children. May you be blessed by the Lord, the maker of earth, of heaven and earth. Here's what God say. In this moment, like I said, this is for somebody right now. You're in a moment where it don't look like what it seems. Okay, you are in a moment where you are fasting. You are in a moment where you are preparing yourself. Okay, and this makes sense as to why, you know, God has put us on fast after fast after fast. We literally just finished a fast. Okay, we literally yesterday just finished a fast. Okay, glory to God. Thank you to everybody that joined me in the fast. God is saying that as you are fasting, gradually you are moving towards your accomplishment. But it's okay if you don't look like it. It's okay if, you know what I'm saying, you may have little bitty trinkets. It's like, I just feel like this is such a gradual thing. Gradually, it's starting to be noticeable. Like, you may have been into the internal, you were internally healing, internally getting yourself together. God was giving you little bitty things, and you were internally healing, internally preparing for what this is. And that would make sense as to why the fast, okay? When we are fasting, one thing that I learned, oh my goodness, I've been talking for 40 minutes. One thing that I learned while I was staying off grid, when we fast, our body goes into this mode where it is basically kind of like cleaning itself and it's healing itself. And like, a lot of people don't realize that the way that God made our bodies, there are so many things that our bodies just literally will heal from on their own. But if we are constantly causing it to, like, we're putting a bunch of bad stuff in there, it's like that's just like if how do I explain this? Like, okay, when are you gardening? If you gardening and you put like some kind of plant food that the plant don't like, and you see that it start making the plant sick, and instead of adding water or just removing the plant out of that soil altogether and putting it in water, just watered soil, you pour more in there, the plant gonna die. And that's the truth. And I'm saying that quiet over here because I don't want my plants to hear that. Y'all didn't hear that. But that's the truth. Speaking of which, look at my kale sprouting over here on those screw. Okay, anywho. But when you putting, you know what I'm saying, too much of something, especially if it's bad for you, it'll mess you up. Especially when we living now in the world where it's so many processed foods, fast food, and then you go to the grocery store, and if you wanna survive, and you gotta pay rent, and you gotta figure out, okay, how am I gonna be able to pay rent and buy food? The processed food is cheaper. And I'm just being real. And I just feel like it's a situation where when you fast, you give your body an opportunity to cleanse itself. You give your organs an opportunity to get several organs repair themselves. Okay, it takes time, but it happens. And I just feel like God is saying like that, and I know a lot of people forget about this. We learned this so early on. And a lot of times when we learning stuff in school, we don't even know why we learning it. Sometimes we just don't even be paying attention. I know me myself, I wasn't really paying attention a lot of times in school. I'm just going to be real. But anywho, I guess I was because I remember this. But anywho, you know, the way that the body works, even each cell has just different stations to where it heals and repairs. And then and when you allow your body to rest from processing food all day, and you are allowing your body to you're giving it water, you're giving it tea, which tea cleanses you as well. Coffee also when it's black, okay, and you don't have the milk in there. I think somebody commented and said that God led them not to put milk in their coffee. God led them creamer, not to add creamer. Like when you are drinking black coffee, when you're drinking tea that is straight, I don't add nothing to my tea. I don't add sugar. I don't add no milk, no extra. I don't add no extra nothing. I drink straight green tea. Pure straight green tea. I don't like it cold. I don't like cold tea. And the only way I can drink cold tea is if it's a pound of sugar in there. And because of that, I stay away from it. I just drink green tea, or sometimes I have chamomile, and I have the other kind of tea, but I like it hot. Okay, hot. But when you are drinking these kind of things, it cleanses your body. These are like coffee and tea cleanses you. Okay, water, it's like, and when you're fasting, it helps to push out bad stuff. It helps to push out toxic stuff. I'm saying this to say, this is what I'm getting to. Internally, you had to get yourself together. And that may not be obvious to people from the outside. Spiritually, you had to get yourself together. This is something that is not obvious in this material world. Spiritually, you different. Materially, you may look the same. Materially, somebody may look at you and be like, well, they got on the same outfit and they got the same purse, and they may look at you and think to themselves, there's something different about such and such, but they're looking at you like, they ain't they still ain't got their makeup together, they still haven't did this, they ain't got wearing the same purse, they wearing the same outfit. I don't know, but God is saying that this is a situation where don't lean on idolatry. Don't lean on the understanding of our own understanding. Lean on God in this situation. So gradually, God is going to be moving you from a state where your change is internal. And as you are graduating from changing internally, and you are graduating from changing spiritually, now God is going to move you into where your change is going to be physical. This video is so long. I see why I had to wake up early. I typically would not be recording right now. I would not. This is around the time I'm looking at my watch right now. Right now, typically I'm getting up. Okay, but I see why I had to get up early and record early, because this message is long, but this is a good, this message is gold, okay? And this is for somebody. And I hope you make it to watch the whole video so that you can really gain the understanding that is intended for you to gain. But, it is what it is. I know for whoever it's for, you're going to watch the whole thing. And for who it's not, it is what it is. But here's what God is saying. This is a situation where you had to cleanse. You have to be cleansed internally. And then he is going to cleanse you externally. And it's kind of like, I'm thinking about how on the little ads during the games I be playing on my off time, when I'm playing my little games on my little my play iPad, I play the little games. They have this ad for this game called Project Makeover, where it's like a girl is in a relationship and she looked like she just been drugged through the mud, sometimes literally, and the guy is chasing after another girl, and they give you the option, like, leave him or try to get him back. And typically the person that's playing the ad is try to get him back. I'm like, why would she do that? Why would she do that? And this is my logic, okay? From my healed perspective. If you trying to get back a man, that every time you gain a little weight, every time, you know what I'm saying? And that's a problem. Every time you gain weight, every time your face change, or every time you're not able, you in your sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and every time you decide you're not going to do your hair today, you're just going to put in a ponytail and you're going to go, and you don't feel like doing this, that, and the third, he going to be looking at somebody else. That's a problem. Because let me tell you something. The thing that, when you get married, the thing that consecrates the marriage, it literally makes you pregnant. And that's what it's for. And when you get pregnant, you get fat. Okay? Like, sometimes during pregnancy, I don't want to scare nobody, but it can cause your face to change. Your face can swell up, your feet can swell up, your hands can swell up. I was so swollen when I was pregnant with my son. I couldn't wear my rings. I couldn't wear my usual jewelry. I had to buy a whole new wardrobe for my pregnancy. I couldn't sleep the same no more. I was uncomfortable all the time. I was frustrated all the time. And I just feel like when somebody show you that they don't rock with you for the internal, I just feel like that's a sign. And this is a situation, maybe you got your heart broken by somebody, and God is saying that he had to heal you internally before he can heal you externally, because the objective is not to get that person back. The objective is to heal you so that when he heals you externally, you ain't even going to be looking at this person. They may come back looking at you. They may come tapping at your door. They may start blowing your phone up. They may be trying to, you know what I'm saying? You have to think about it. This is somebody that's lustful. So if you, like, if they a lustful person, they liked you back then, why would they not like you again once you get yourself all the way together? But you have to have learned internally, spiritually, you have to have that knowledge that that's not for you. They come back around, they ain't gonna do nothing but the same thing all over again. They gonna break your heart again. So why even run back that way? Like, and for some of you, you had to go through the healing internally, spiritually. And you know, it could be a situation where you can feel frustrated, like, man, this person, they broke me down to such a way, they broke my heart to such a way that I had to take out all this time just to heal from them. It's okay. You may have felt like you was by yourself while you were healing from them. That's okay. God said he was with you the whole time, but now he gonna build you up. And like I said, with somebody, you about to get blessing after blessing after blessing, but that's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you had to go through this first. You had to go through it first. And it may be a situation where you've seen a lot of people that they have been looking at you and feeling some kind of way, or they may have been talking about you. You may have felt like all kind of stuff been going on. God said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about those who are sitting around being idealistic. Why do the nations say, where is their God? Our God is in heaven. He does whatever whatever pleases him. But their idols are silver and gold made by human hands. So while you were going through this internal healing, this spiritual healing, there may have been a situation where people were looking at you like God don't love them. They don't have no God. God ain't doing nothing for them. God ain't studying them. Look, God just letting them. But they didn't realize that God was healing you internally. You had to heal internally first. It's not a situation where God is just going to heal you on the outside and push you back out there, because you 9 out of 10 going to run right back to the person that broke your heart. Why wouldn't you? If you weren't healed, and why would God send you to the person that you're destined for and you are still broken? You still hurt. God has to send you towards, like, God is going to send you where you're supposed to go. This is a situation for whoever this is for. God is saying you have to go through this journey, and it's a long journey, and you may have had to go by yourself, and you have to do all the details by yourself. Just like I had to take out all the time and go through my locks, and there's still some spots that I missed where I have to pull out the strings from where I sewn extensions into my hair. And even though I plan on putting some more extensions into my hair, guess what I got to do? I got to pull out all the little strings out my locks, because I'm not trying to have these strings stuck in my locks, because locks gonna do what locks gonna do. They gonna cling to it, and I don't need them clinging to stuff that don't really belong in my hair. Just like I had to have this time to let my locks breathe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it was a part of me like, do I really want to just, you know what I'm saying, wear my regular locks? You know, I haven't retwisted them. I got a wrap on because I haven't retwisted them yet. I'm just letting them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I colored my hair yesterday, so I'm letting them do their thing today. Do I really want to, you know what I'm saying? Why not? It's my hair. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody in the comment section talk about I'm wearing all this wig. Let me tell you about life and how I got hair, okay? I have hair. Don't get it twisted. And yes, my hair is locked up. And no, I'm not cutting it. No, I'm not going to put a wig on just so that somebody else can feel comfortable. This is my hair. This is how God made my hair. Okay, it's how my hair come out my head. It's curled like this. Okay, and it's natural for hair to lock up. If you leave it, especially hair like this here, if you leave it alone, eventually will lock up. And just because I styled the way that it locks together doesn't mean that all I did was twist my hair and eventually locks formed. Okay, stop playing with me. Okay, this is natural. This is a natural. I just feel like having locks is one of the most natural hairstyles. Like, all I did, literally 2-strand twists. And 4 years, 3-4 years later, my hair this is what my hair is now. 3-4 years later, from 2-strand twists. So it's not a situation where I just, did a bunch of stuff to make my hair do this here. This is not a situation where I had to bend over backwards and go through flips and all kind of stuff. No, this is my hair. This is my hair. This is how God made my hair. And I love it. Okay. But anywho, that's how God sees you. Okay, God did not create you like you didn't come out the womb with somebody else. You didn't come out the womb in a relationship with whoever. You didn't come out the womb having the job that you're going to have. You didn't come out the womb having the possessions that you're going to possess. This is a situation where God made you. When you came out, when you were created, you were by yourself, unless you are a twin. Okay, if you're a twin, that's a different story. But if you're not a twin, God made you by yourself. Okay, and when you came out the womb, you was alone. And it ain't no reason for you to be, you know what I'm saying, feeling as though you'll be embarrassed to go out without such and such because, oh no, what are you going to do? And what are people going to think? And how are people going to feel? And if you are not looking a certain way, and if you're not carrying a certain purse, and you're not driving a certain car, and if you're not going to certain places, what are people going to think? You are not attached to that thing. Stop idolizing stuff. Stop idolizing people. God says it's okay for you to run around by yourself, okay? It's okay for you not to be attached to a certain person. It's okay if you know what I'm saying? It's okay to ride solo, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. And that's the message. I cannot, this is going to be so long. This is so but that's the message. God, like this, that's the message. That's the message. And I literally could go on longer, and I'm trying not to. I'm trying to cut this video. Like, I'm trying to stop. But I hope whoever this is for, that you understand. You may have had to go through the fasting stage. You had to go through the healing internal stage. And it was tough. It was hard. You had to deal with a lot of whispers. You had to deal with some rumors. You had to deal with some side eyes. You had to deal with people said this here. Where's their God? You had to deal with that. You had to deal with it. But it is what it is. God said that's okay. Now you have healed internally. And you're going to start healing externally. You have healed spiritually, and now you can heal materially. Like you're finna start possessing some things. You finna start having some things. But God is saying that He did not want you to idolize these things. He did not want you to think in such a way like without having this thing that you were less than. Because you didn't have something, you were not worthy. Or because you weren't attached to someone, you were not worthy. Like, that's not the situation. And that's the message. That is the message. That is the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.